Hi, we're at the last day of RSA Conference 2023. It's nice to be back here in person with my colleague Alon Levin, the head of product. I'm James Plouffe, Seraphic's product marketing manager. Alon, how's the show been for you this week?
It's been great. It's really been great to meet so many people across the industry. Now that we got events in person back again, it's great to see all the different partners, customers, people that we work with. So really great in turning up here again.
And as you've been talking to the customers and partners and all of the attendees at the show, was there anything that kind of surprised you or maybe was unexpected this week?
So, not a big surprise to be honest, but I was a little bit surprised to see the interest and traction that the business that we're in, enterprise browser security, is getting. It intersects with so many different areas. Obviously, all of us have browsers, we use it all the time, and just the fact that people understand the risk that entails was a big surprise for us. We're happy to see that people are interested and understand the risk that browsers can bring, and the fact that there are solutions that can help them resolve these risks.
And so let's double click on that for a minute. So as folks are coming around, what are the sort of problems they are looking at enterprise browser security to help them solve?
Yeah, so people are very much aware today that browsers have many risks. They have risks around security first. So browsers are complex pieces of software, and they contain many different ways for attackers, adversaries to get access to their goals. One of which is attacking the browser itself as a software, right? So there are vulnerabilities, and unfortunately Google Chrome and other browsers are continuously updating us about new vulnerabilities, zero-day vulnerabilities, actually zero-day vulnerabilities exploited in the wild. And this is first and foremost a risk that people are becoming more and more aware of, and an area that we want to protect from. So that's one common theme that we've been seeing across the board. Apart from that, the web browser is actually where there's a great interaction with users, and this is where you can actually entice users to click on things that they shouldn't do, shouldn't click. You can actually entice them to give details that they shouldn't provide, like their credentials, like phishing type of attacks. So these are actually ongoing trends that we're seeing in the last months and actually years, and people are becoming more and more aware of that. So again, these are areas that we're seeing get a lot of attention, and luckily we're able to provide good solutions for. When it comes to sensitive data, people are also becoming more and more aware of the fact that sensitive data leaks through the browser. But that's an area of interest for us, obviously. We want to make sure that users are only able to access their corporate applications on secure devices, on secure browsers, such that we will have the ability to control and monitor everything that happens with regards to sensitive data. Lastly, post-COVID era is where we're starting to see people working from everywhere. Mm-hmm. That trend continues. And the ability to do this with very little investment in additional infrastructure, VPN, VDI, etc., is something that people are now very much interested in. So the fact that we are actually being able to bring this to them is very impactful from our perspective, and we're seeing this actually getting a good reception from our customers and partners as well.
Excellent. So last question, do you think it was the fact that there were back-to-back zero-day browser exploits last week, the general trend of breach headlines, or all of the buzz around ChatGPT that's driving the interest in these topics?
So I think all of the three, really, all of the above, right? So first and foremost, yes, 0 days is still something it's not going away anywhere, all right? There's still software bugs. Many of them are vulnerable, many of them become a useful tool for the adversaries to use when they try to get their nefarious goals, really. Not only that, there's campaigns that are targeting companies through the browser. So again, it's not only exploits, it's the ability to actually get users to click on malware through the browser, to actually get drive-by downloads, to get phishing where they expose their credentials. These things are, unfortunately, they're not going away. We're trying to help in making sure that we remediate those risks. Lastly, you talked about generative AI or ChatGPT in specific. Obviously, this is an ongoing trend across the entire industry. Security was part of it. And while it brings us with great benefits, it also entails some risks.
Sure.
So we want to make sure that both from protecting from what it can provide in terms of malicious code, that can create also malicious code, not only good information. So we want to protect against this, and we want to make sure that data doesn't leak using these generative AI tools, which are great. I mean, people use it all the time. They provide us with great insights. But on the other hand, they can also entail a lot of risk of people actually exposing data that they shouldn't to those tools. And we want to help companies and users to stay protected against these scenarios. So, and lastly, obviously, the most basic capability is actually keeping users outside of tools which are not authorized by the company, just to make sure that people only have access to what they should have access to. And when they do have access to that, they only share the information that they should share, not anything sensitive or proprietary.
Totally makes sense. Well, Alon Levin, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Safe travels back to Tel Aviv, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
All right, yeah, for sure. Thank you, James.